When it comes to truly loving a man, respect and admiration are not just optional extras. They are the foundation of everything. A man can go through life carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. He can face struggles, disappointments, and challenges that test his patience, his faith, and his endurance. But when he comes home to the woman he loves, the one place he should never feel small is in her eyes. Men thrive in an atmosphere where they feel valued, where they know that what they do matters, and where they are seen not only for their successes, but also for their efforts. See, men and women often operate differently in how they interpret love. A woman usually wants to feel safe, cherished, and prioritized. For men, though, love often looks like respect. To him, respect is oxygen. You take that away, and he suffocates. When a man hears that his woman admires him, that she's proud of him, it ignites something deep inside. It makes him want to do more, be more, give more. He doesn't just hear words, he feels empowered. Respect doesn't mean blind agreement or pretending he's flawless. Every man has flaws, but it does mean acknowledging his role, his effort, and his intention. Men don't need perfection to feel admired, they need recognition. When a woman says, "I see what you're doing, I appreciate it, and I'm proud of you," it creates a confidence in him that no amount of money or success could ever buy. It's the fuel that keeps him moving forward, even when life feels like it's holding him back. Admiration is like a mirror. A man will see himself reflected in the way his woman views him. If she constantly criticizes, belittles, or compares him, he begins to feel inadequate, even if he doesn't show it. He may still smile, still grind, still handle his business, but inside, he feels stripped of strength. On the other hand, if she admires him openly, if she speaks life into him, affirms him, brags on him, he feels like he can conquer anything. Respect speaks to his soul. It tells him, "You matter, you are enough, and I believe in you." That's powerful. Let's be real, the world doesn't hand out respect easily. At work, a man has to fight for it. In society, he's judged by his wallet, his title, or his status. Sometimes even his own family might overlook him. But when he comes home, when he's with his woman, that's supposed to be his safe place. The place where he doesn't have to prove himself over and over. The place where, no matter what battles he's fighting out there, he knows he's still the king in her eyes. That's the gift respect and admiration give a man. And don't get it twisted. It's not about stroking his ego. It's about honoring the essence of who he is. Respect is saying, "I see the man you're trying to be, and I appreciate the man you already are." It's in the little things thanking him when he fixes something around the house, acknowledging his effort when he's grinding hard, or simply looking him in the eye and telling him, "I'm proud of you." Those moments might seem small, but to him, they're everything. Now, here's the flip side. When a man doesn't feel respected, he pulls away. He may still be there physically, but emotionally, he starts to disconnect. He won't say it out loud because most men aren't taught how to express that need. But it shows up in how much he talks, how much he shares, and how much he's willing to invest in the relationship. Men don't always ask for respect, but they know when it's missing. And when it is, it hurts deeper than they'll ever admit. So how do you love a man the right way? You let respect be the language you speak. You build him up, not tear him down. You admire his grind, not just the results. You let him know that you see him, that you trust him, and that you value him for more than what he provides. You value him for who he is. Respect is the bridge between his heart and yours, and admiration is what makes that bridge strong enough to carry the weight of life together. At the end of the day, respect and admiration aren't about putting a man on a pedestal. They're about creating a partnership where he feels safe enough to be vulnerable, strong enough to keep leading, and motivated enough to keep loving. Because when a man knows he's respected, there's no limit to what he'll give back. A man who feels admired by his woman doesn't just survive, he thrives. He becomes the best version of himself. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. And that, right there, is how love deepens, strengthens, and lasts. One of the most powerful ways a woman can love a man is by being his encourager and supporter. Life has a way of knocking men down over and over. He's out there every day trying to build, to prove, to provide, to protect, and often he faces rejection, pressure, and setbacks that nobody sees. The truth is, the world doesn't always clap for men. It doesn't always recognize the work they put in, the sacrifices they make, or the stress they carry. But when a man knows his woman believes in him, even when nobody else does, it gives him a strength that's unshakable. That's not just love, it's life support. Encouragement for a man doesn't always come in big speeches. It comes in those small, intentional words that let him know you see his potential, not just his problems. It's saying, I believe in you, when he feels like giving up. It's reminding him, you've got what it takes, when he doubts himself. It's whispering, I'm proud of you, when he feels like he hasn't done enough. Those words might not seem like much, but to him they're a lifeline. Men are wired to carry weight, but they can only carry so much on their own. Encouragement is the thing that helps them stand up again when life has knocked them flat. Support is about more than just standing by him when everything's going well. Any woman can clap for a man when he's winning. Real love shows up when he's struggling. It's easy to cheer when the check clears, but can you still cheer when he's broke and trying to figure it out? It's easy to support him when his dreams are working, but can you stand beside him when those dreams are still just sketches on a piece of paper? That's the kind of support that moves a man to his core. Because if you can ride with him in the storm, he'll never forget you when the sun comes out. Sometimes encouragement looks like silence, knowing when not to criticize, when not to remind him of his failures, when not to put pressure on him. Men don't always say it, but they carry a fear of letting their woman down. And when she uses her words not to tear him down, but to build him up, she becomes the voice that drowns out his doubts. In a world full of negativity, she becomes his safe place. That kind of love isn't just felt, it's remembered for a lifetime. Think about a man can fail in business, lose his job, or even feel like he's at rock bottom. But if the woman he loves says, I'm still with you, I still believe in you, and I know you're going to rise again, it lights something inside him. That's when he dusts himself off. That's when he goes harder. That's when he finds a way. Because when a man knows his woman hasn't given up on him, he refuses to give up on himself. Encouragement also comes through action. It's in showing up for him, listening to him when he talks, standing with him when others doubt him. Sometimes support looks like giving him space when he needs it or stepping in to remind him of his worth when he forgets it. It's not about solving all his problems. It's about letting him know he's not fighting them alone. A man doesn't always want advice. Sometimes he just wants assurance. He wants to know that even if the whole world questions him, his woman doesn't. When a man feels this kind of encouragement and support, his love deepens in ways words can't explain. He sees her not just as his partner, but as his anchor. She becomes the person he confides in, the one he trusts with his fears, the one he runs to when life feels heavy. And here's the beautiful thing. When a man feels supported, he gives that love right back. He works harder. He loves stronger. He provides better, not out of obligation, but out of gratitude. Because in his heart, he knows she didn't just love the finished product. She loved the process. At the end of the day, encouragement and support are not about pretending he's perfect or ignoring reality. They're about seeing the man he can be even when he can't see it himself. They're about standing beside him when life pushes against him, about believing in his future even when his present looks uncertain. That kind of love is rare, but it's also unforgettable. Every man longs for the reassurance that someone believes in him. The deepest love he will ever feel is knowing that when the world doubts him, his woman doesn't. When she encourages him, she breathes life into him. When she supports him, she gives him the courage to keep going. That's the kind of love that builds empires, that raises families, that lasts through decades. Because when a man is loved with encouragement and support, there's no storm too strong, no obstacle too big, and no dream too far out of reach. He becomes unstoppable, not just for himself, but for the woman who stood with him all the way. Would you like me to now expand the third keynote, see affection beyond the physical, into a 700-word Steve Harvey style section so you'll have all three expanded steps as a complete speech when people hear the word affection. Affection. Their minds often jump straight to physical intimacy. And yes, that's part of love. But if that's all it is, the relationship won't last long. A man doesn't just need to be touched physically, he needs to be touched emotionally. He needs kindness, patience, and attention just as much as he needs intimacy. Real affection goes far beyond the bedroom. It's about creating a daily atmosphere where he feels valued, cared for, and wanted. Not just as a partner, but as a human being. See, men are raised to believe they have to be tough, unshakable, and strong all the time. But the truth is, men get tired, they get insecure, and they need reassurance just like anybody else. They may not say it out loud, but they crave those little moments of tenderness that remind them they matter. When a woman shows affection in ways that are not tied to physical desire, it tells him, you're not just wanted for what you can give me. I love you for who you are. That hits deeper than anything else. Affection beyond the physical is in the details. It's holding his hand while you're walking. It's checking in on him in the middle of a busy day with a simple text that says, thinking about you. It's putting your phone down and giving him your full attention when he's talking. It's brushing his hair off his forehead when he looks tired, or telling him, I'm grateful for you, even when there's no special occasion. Those small acts may not seem like much, but to a man, they speak volumes. They say, I see you, I value you, and I don't take you for granted. Patience is also a huge part of affection. Men don't always process things the way women do. Sometimes they need silence. Sometimes they need space. And sometimes they just don't have the words to express what's going on in their heads. Being patient with him in those moments is a powerful form of love. Affection is not forcing him to open up on your timetable, but letting him know you'll be there when he's ready. That patience creates a safe environment for him to let his guard down, and when he does, he bonds with you in ways that no physical act ever could. Another layer of affection beyond intimacy is attention. Life is full of distractions. Work, kids, responsibilities, social media, bills. It's easy for a relationship to fall into autopilot. But giving him intentional attention, even for a few minutes a day, makes a difference. Look at him when he talks. Laugh at his jokes, even the corny ones. Celebrate the little victories he shares with you. Let him know that what he says and what he feels matters to you. Because when a man feels ignored, he starts to feel invisible. But when he feels truly seen, he feels cherished. Affection is also about kindness. Men are used to being critiqued everywhere they go, by bosses, by co-workers, sometimes even by family. But the one place he should always find kindness is with his woman. Kindness is in the tone of your voice when you speak to him. It's in the way you handle disagreements. It's in choosing to encourage instead of criticize. That kind of affection builds trust and deepens love because he knows that no matter what, his woman is for him, not against him. Now, let's be clear. Affection beyond the physical doesn't mean intimacy isn't important. Physical connection is a beautiful and necessary part of love. But it's not the whole picture. Without kindness, patience, and attention, physical intimacy feels empty. A man doesn't just want a partner who touches his body. He wants a partner who touches his soul. When you love him outside the bedroom, when you make him feel valued in the small, everyday moments, you create a bond that makes the physical side even more meaningful. And here's the truth. When a man feels this type of affection, he thrives. He works harder, he loves deeper, and he feels safer in the relationship. He knows that his worth isn't just tied to what he provides or how strong he appears. He knows he's loved for the person he is when the world isn't watching. That kind of love lasts because it goes beyond chemistry. It builds connection. At the end of the day, affection beyond the physical is about consistency. It's about showing up with kindness when he's frustrated, with patience when he's distant, with attention when he feels overlooked. It's about making him feel that no matter how chaotic life gets, he always has a place where he belongs and where he matters. That's what makes love not just survive, but grow stronger over time. Because when a man feels that level of affection, when he knows he's loved not just for what he does, but for who he is, he will give everything he has to that relationship. He will pour back the same kindness, patience, and attention tenfold. And that, right there, is what keeps love alive long after the spark of passion has cooled into the steady flame of true partnership.